Hi Graham,
Hi.
just a few from me today because I think we're going to speak after. Do you want to start with some team news, because there was a couple in isolation, a couple of injury doubts. Where are you and who will you have available for Sunday?
Yeah, so Enock's available, Pascal still isn't. Adam Webster will miss the game. And Dan Burn is back in contention, will be in the squad. So apart from that, I think we're as we were.
How bad was Adam's hamstring then? I don't think we had an update since after the game. When might we see him back? And the only other one while we're on it is Lamptey. You penciled him in for a cup game. Is that still the case?
Yeah, Tariq's made really good progress. So he's been training with the group for a while now and looking better and better each day. So that's still the plan. And Adam is probably going to be, I would have said, maybe the other side of the international break is where we're looking with him, if we're being sort of fair to him and a bit of recovery. So not the best news, but not the worst news. It's probably in the middle.
It took you 19 games to get to this point last season, Graham, in terms of the wins. Amazing to have done it so quickly. I guess the easy question is, what have you changed?
Yeah.
What's the difference? I mean, how much in reality?
Yeah, and if I could just answer it simply, then I'd be a very wise man. I think that the truth is we've just carried on working. I spoke a lot last year about the margins being really tight, and often they fell on the wrong side of us. And when that happens, you don't get the points. But our performances were good last year, probably better than what our points tally was. But as we all know, unless you get the points, it doesn't matter. So we just carried on working. And this time, I think the margins have been on our favour. It's not like we've been dominant in all the games and clearly the better team. We haven't been that. They're tight games. Could have drawn, could have lost, but we've managed to win, and that's credit to the players. They've learned, they've grown, and we're happy with the points we've got.
Are you seeing a noticeable shift in the players' kind of maybe resilience to get you over the line, or is there that sense now of a bit more confidence? We know how much those top 2 inches matter to maybe fall on the right side of those margins.
Yeah, I think it's a process. I think you go through the struggles we went through the last year, and you learn. I think because of the way the season was as well, there wasn't too much time to reflect. That's how it is when you're in that relegation fight, which we were for a big part of last year. You haven't got too much time to reflect and to analyse and to learn. I think the players go away and they come back and they realise, okay, I can deal with this level. The things I can do better, the things I've done well, and I think we've just come back with a good mentality. The understanding of what we're trying to do is grown and grown, and like I said, you need a bit of luck, and you need to play well, and we've done that in parts. We can still improve, so that's what we're focusing on. We haven't cracked it. We've got a lot to do, so but it's a good foundation, good start for us.
And just finally for me, I think I know what you're going to say, but in terms of expectations, when you make a start like that, how do they shift? Because they have to, because people come into work and they're enthused and they're excited and they they're winning.
Yeah, I mean that's I'm not going to complain about that at all. But I think we've got a good group here. We're not we didn't get too down on ourselves when results weren't going our way, and we're not going to get carried away either when they have gone our way. So it's a case of trying to improve, trying to focus on the next match. The next match is an opportunity to win, but it's also an opportunity, if you don't do things right and you don't get that rub of the green or whatever it is, that you can lose. So it's the Premier League. We have to be ready. The boys have trained well this week, but we come up against a really good side at the weekend, and we have to be good.
On that challenge for the weekend, Leicester City, for all their achievements recently, Graham, do you see a squad with a greater depth this season?
I think it looks that way. Yeah, I mean they've made some good signings. They've already got a really good understanding of what they're trying to do, and mixture of Premier League winners, international players of a high level. Great Premier League experience, but some young players as well. So they've got a nice balance, nice mix. I think everybody speaks really, really highly of Leicester City as a club, of what they've achieved and what they do, and we're no different. So it's going to be a tough game for us, but it's the one we're looking forward to. We're at home. We want to play better than we did against Everton because as we learned from that game, if you don't play well, it gives you little chance of winning in the Premier League. So we have to play better than we did then.
Can I ask you about Yves Bissouma, who's been speaking this week? Just in terms of the progress that you've seen in him, Graham, in every area of the game, can you talk a little bit about the progression that he has made as an individual?
I think he's made good steps. I think the exciting thing for us and for him is he's not at his maximum. I think there's more to come. But I think his consistency has improved. His lowest level has got higher, so to speak. His highest level is scary, to be honest. I mean, he's got some quality, but it's about being consistent and about understanding the game a little bit more and his role in the team, and I think he's done that really well. He's been an important player for us over the last 18 months, maybe a little bit longer. He's taken steps, but like I said, he's still got some steps to take as well, which is great for him and great for us because we need to help him get there.
And just a final one from me, still on the training ground, if you like. Something you said a minute ago, you said the understanding of what we're trying to do has grown and grown. Has that needed a little bit of patience from your strategic coaching point of view? At times do you have to sort of understand that it is a process and it will take a little while to get through?
But I think anybody would say the same. I mean, I know when you're a coach, you can't ask for time because people want results now, and you have to get results enough that buys you that time. But the reality of it is, whoever it is, whatever name you want to throw, I think they'll say the same thing. You get better with time. It is a process of learning, making mistakes, developing, understanding each other better, more. Providing you do your work, I think there's a chance you can improve, and that's what we're trying to do. It isn't easy in the Premier League because results can knock you off track, and that's where I think you need patience, that's where you need understanding, that's where you need a bit of strategic thinking, to use your words. But we're in a good place, but we know it's just a start. We just need to carry on.
Thanks, Graham. Good luck for the
Thank
weekend.
you.
Hi, Graham. How are you?
Very well, yourself?
Yeah, not too bad at all. I just wanted to start with, when people speak about, big jobs, they talk about Brendan Rodgers, but they're also mentioning you because the job you've done at Brighton. Are there any similarities, do you think, between you and Brendan in terms of coaching, the way you manage, the way you lead your teams?
The honest truth is I have no idea because I don't know Brendan that well. I don't know his work. I don't know. I've not witnessed him at all, and I think he's probably the best person at being Brendan Rodgers there is. And I'd like to think that I'm quite good at being me, and I don't see there's any point in comparing or. He's done a fantastic job. His career is amazing. I'm just starting out really in comparison to what he's done and what he's achieved. So I don't see any comparison in that way. But he's someone I respect a lot and admire a lot because what he's achieved is fantastic.
You mentioned before about expectations slightly going up because of the start you've had. What are the expectations now for Brighton 6 weeks into the season?
I would say they're the same as they were 6 weeks ago, which is you want to try and improve. We need to focus on the next match. We need to understand what we're trying to do, how we can improve. Understand that every game is a fight for us. Every game is an absolute battle that we have to do absolute everything to get something from. Because we're playing in a league with huge quality. All the opponents have, players that can hurt you, all well organised, highest level of coaching there is. So our expectations don't change. I think, short-term results can happen, good and bad. But I think you've got to stay consistent in terms of where you are with your thinking and keep trying to get better. That's where we're at.
you've had a whole week to prepare for the game. Leicester only a couple of days. Just give us an outline on how much of a difference that makes to you as a coach. You've got that so much different, more time with your team than your opposite number.
Yeah, I mean, I think on the one hand, it's good because you've got a bit more rest in between the Premier League matches. Same time, sometimes a game is good because you've got players that can play. You can get some momentum and some energy from the matches. So it can work in both ways. We had it with the cup game at Cardiff, affected us a little bit against Everton, but I think Brendan and his staff are so good and so experienced at dealing with that, and that's ultimately the challenge of clubs like Leicester and the top sort of four, that they want to compete and challenge in every area. So the challenge for that is you've got to play the matches and you've got to do well. They had a good game last night, but they'll be ready for us, that's for sure. I'm 100% sure about that.
My last one is that both you and Brendan like to play with a recognised striker. You normally play with Neil Maupay, he normally plays with Jamie Vardy, but increasingly teams in the Premier League will go with what we call the false number 9, and you've done it on occasions actually at Brighton, but just outline for us why sometimes that's come into the thinking of a manager. Do you think we're beginning to see the almost outdating of the traditional number 9 that you played with and that we've always grown up watching?
I think it just depends on circumstances at every club. I don't think there's no answer that's complete across the board. I think it depends on the club, it depends on the situation of the squads. I don't think it's the death of the 9 by any means. I think you see the likes of Lukaku, for example, for Chelsea is a traditional 9. Cristiano Ronaldo's coming in as a 9, so they're absolutely out there. Jamie Vardy, one of the best there's been. So there's still absolutely a place. But again, it depends on the squad, depends on the games you play. It gives you a different option, gives you a different way to attack, maybe. So yeah, it's just. I think it's just the beauty of football. There's nothing really new in football. There's no secret thing that's just emerged. It's always been there. We just go around in circles, and eventually it'll come back again, and it'll come round again, and we'll be talking about some new tactic that is out there, but has actually been around for hundreds of years.
You mean you're not reinventing the wheel every week, Brian?
I'm certainly not. I don't think so, no. Like I said, football's been around a long, long time, and there's been a lot of clever people in it, and there's not too much new. It just changes, and you have to adapt to it and use whatever you can to help your team.
Good luck this weekend, Graham. Thanks for talking to me.
Thank you.
Graham, we've now had Marc Cucurella's debut. How pleased with you with the way he's settled in, his debut, and what more is there to come from him?
Yeah, really, really pleased. I mean, it's good for him. He was part of a winning team, clean sheet. I think it was a difficult first game away at Brentford. It was a physical match, so the difference there, I think, would have been quite large for him. He's got to make that adjustment from La Liga to the Premier League, which there is some adjustment to make. I think he'll get better the more he's with us. But we're really happy with him. Really happy how he settled in. Made a good impression on everybody. And he'll improve.
You mentioned a little bit about the process. I just wondered, what work have the club done and continue to do with the players in terms of the mental side, of the psychological side of the game?
Yeah, I think it's an ongoing thing for us. It's an area that we're committed to and care about. I think from a performance perspective, but also from a well-being perspective, because. It's a results game, we all know, and we're about winning and trying to win. But at the same time, there's we're in a high performance area with a lot of pressure. I think we've been through significant challenges as a society, which the guys have been in as well, in terms of lockdowns and COVID, and so I think making sure the guys have got support there in terms of well-being is something that's really important to us, because at the end of the day, they're people. before they're footballers, and we think that if we get the balance between the two, we've got more chance of them being happy as young men, but also as successful as footballers.
And how big an impact do you think those additional sort of psychological help and support that you can get in terms of your performance, what extra bits can you get out of a player or even a team from that support and help?
Honestly, Johnny, I think it's hard to quantify. I think you've just got to, it's about your intention, and our intention is to try to support the players on and off the pitch in that area, and also, us as coaches. I think it's been a really important area for us to address and to deal with. I think we're all grateful for the club for that support, and the guys behind the scenes have done a fantastic job. So, it's an area that the more we work with, the better it will be, and the more rewards you get, or the more benefits you get. But at the moment, we're really happy with it.
And just on Leicester, I mean, how big an achievement has this been for Brendan Rodgers? 2 fifth-place finishes in the last 2 seasons.
Well, and a major trophy as well, qualification in Europe. I think he's done a fantastic job. He does an amazing job wherever he goes. Brendan, his CV's fantastic, and he's at every football club improves the teams and improves the players. And I think that's all you can, it's all you can ask for as a coach. The next step is, of course, a major one, because they're trying to break into that top 4, which is huge. But I think the way the club's run, the job that Brendan does, the way the players work, they're a fantastic club.